Okay, we're going to take a look at our event sequence system. And right now I've got a scene set up with two characters, Mary in blue and Bill in orange. Don't mind that they're same graphics. And Mary I'm going to set to playable for now. The default is controlled. So this is how the players are controlled. If they're in controlled system, then something is moving them around. If they're in playable, wherever I click is where they'll move to, and if they're in follow, they're going to follow whoever is. So here we have follow person, so they'll follow somebody. I'm going to put Mary in playable mode and leave Bill in that mode. So the system that I'm using to move the characters around is the Polynav plugin, and it's just a very simple pathfinder to use, especially for 2D games. Sorry, let's click here, and we see that Mary walks to that position, turns, walks, turns, walks. So this is just a very simple navigation system. Okay, so let's go and create a system. First I have to just hide these because normally the scene manager is who creates the players, and this is the event sequence manager. We're going to create an event sequence now. So event sequence, there it is, and let's just call it test. Okay, so we've got all of these different types of events that I've created so far. A clear dialogues, that's going to come later. Dialogue is creating text for the players. Move to moves the player to a location. Player controls changes what type of control it is. So are they playable? Are they controlled? Are they follow? And look at just tells them to turn and look at something. I need to put Mary back to controlled because they're always created as controlled. And let's start with a dialogue first. And the first dialogue is going to be Mary, who says, I want to walk around. And the wait type, I don't want to wait to click to move on to the next dialogue. I want to move on to the next dialogue immediately. I don't want to change the camera, and that's it for that one. So I'll create another dialogue. And this will be Bill. And he as well is not going to have a wait type. So that means that these two run at the exact same time, and it moves on to the next one at the exact same time. There's no wait order. I want to, that way I can have more than one dialogue on the screen at the same time. Next, I want to have a dialogue, sorry, this is to clear the dialogues. So those dialogues can be on the screen at the same time, and then I can go and say wait 5 seconds and then clear the dialogue. So that's kind of a timer that I've set up so I can have this to work. Next I'm going to make Mary controllable so that I can play Mary, and so let's create a player's control, and this will be added to Mary, and I'm going to set Mary to playable. Alright, I have a whole bunch of blocks here, so like if I went and said I want Tom to also be playable, I'll get errors, but I don't want that. So Mary's going to want to walk around, and we said that Bill is going to remain where he was. So this sets Mary to being playable, and once we've done that, I'm going to wait, just give it 10 seconds so that Mary can walk around for 10 seconds until the next event happens. Next event is going to be, first I need to set Mary away from being playable again, so that is player controls, and Mary is now going to be controlled. Okay, I've got some spots set up here. I'm going to move Bill to this spot, so I've got Bill point and Mary point. And I've got these little scripts added to allow me to have some sort of IDs set up. So he is serial number 3, Mary is serial number 2. Let's go back here and we'll add our move tos. So 2 of them. Actually, I don't need 2 of them. So let's go back to list and get rid of that, because I can just add them both here. So I want to say that Mary is walking to an ID, so not to a person, to an object ID, and Bill. So we had Bill was 3, Mary is 2. So Mary moves to ID 2, and you move to ID 3, and make sure you run to those locations. Actually, Bill's close, so he doesn't need to run. What next? After that, and yeah, we wait till they have finished their move. So both of them have to arrive before we can move on. Next is, I've got a position over here, look at point, and that is ID 1, and I want them both to look at that. So let's say after they've looked at it, I want them to wait 3 seconds. So let's get both of them in here, and we're looking at object ID again. Both of them are looking at object ID 1, and this is Mary, and this is Bill, and they'll both wait until they turn, wait 3 seconds. After that, I want them to look at each other. So let's add both of them again, and we've got Mary, Bill, and we're going to look at, Mary's going to look at Bill, and Bill's going to look at Mary. So hold on, they look to the thing, waited 3 seconds, look back at each other, let's wait 2 seconds, and then dialogue. What was that? That's Mary. We're gonna wait for clicks on this one, and then dialogue. No clue. You go check it out. I will walk around. And that was Bill saying that. And once we do that, I want Mary to walk to there. So let's do move 2, and Mary is going to move to that item, which is 1, and I don't want any delays. I don't want to wait until she finishes. And player controls, I'm going to give control over to Bill now, and Bill now becomes playable, and that's it. So here's my list of all of the events that are going to happen. Fingers crossed, let's hope it all happens. So here we've got the Mary and Bill, and here's the event sequencer, which I need to add the sequence to. That's the manager for it. And I'm gonna create, so Mary and Bill should be spawned after the scene manager. The event sequencer gets called at some other time. So right now let's bring both Mary and Bill. Mary should be set, right, they're both set to controlled, and once we turn this on, everything should run now. So here we should see, here's our dialogues, and Mary says I want to walk around, he says I want to remain here, and Mary is now controllable for the next 10 seconds. So here we see Mary is being controlled, and now I can't control Mary. Bill has walked to his place and Mary walks to her place. They're going to look up here, then they're going to look at each other, and then they're going to say, what was that? No idea. You go check it out. I will walk around. Mary goes to check it out, and while Mary's walking, I've gained control of Bill. So that's kind of my sequencer. Thanks for watching, and I should be back with some more as things progress. And why are all these click hairs not being destroyed? Anyhow, that's something for another time. Have a good day. Alright, goodbye.